Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Echoic coming to you with a Starcraft replay here today. We have myself just practicing against the computer Startail Bomber's TVZ build that he did against DRG in Game 1 of GSL Group H. I was going over the GSL VODs the other night and came across the game, and I thought the build was very good. Bomber's decision making in the game was absolutely amazing. One of the most amazing TVZs I've ever seen played in StarCraft 2. So I wanted to copy the build for myself, and I'm making this video for Team Liquid, the thread that I'm creating there, the discussion and the guide. I want to see what you guys think of this build, see if we can improve it in certain ways, see what situations this build is good in and which situations it's not. So Bomber's goal in this build is to move out on the map with 1-1, about 60 Marines, 4 tanks in the medevac at about 12, probably 11, somewhere between 11 minutes and 30 seconds and 12 minutes. I'll have to watch the VOD again to see exactly when. But I'll link it in the comments so you guys can watch it as well. I encourage you to watch it. He played very well this game, and his goal seems to be to, amass up a very strong army for mid-game push while taking a third and setting himself up nicely for a late game with Zerg. And there are a lot of questions about this build that I still have, like did he prepare this build specifically to DRG's playstyle, or the 6 Queen playstyle? What is this build weak against? It seems like it's weak against some early pressure because you get a third CC so quickly. There are a lot of questions that still need to be answered about this build. But also, something to note is that Bomber doesn't scout until he starts about this third base. It's a really late scout. He doesn't seem too interested in what the Zerg is doing, except for the timing on the third base. So when you watch the VOD, keep that in mind. That's definitely something that I notice, is that he only really cares about the timing on that third base. He doesn't seem too concerned with what's going on here or here. And also with this build, something that's a little bit quirky is Bomber actually does not get his orbital until after this command center has been started. And then with his next 400 minerals, after the supply depot, he's going to make his third base. In base, of course, because you can't make it off of just one rack, that's ridiculous.
Upgrade complete.
And then after you start this, you'll see I'll start it here. With your first 75 minerals, after starting the third, you will take your gas.
Armed and ready.
Gas number 1. First 75 minerals after the third has been started. And so once it's done, you'll turn it into an orbital. And still no bunker yet. The bunker comes later in the build. Of course, depending on what you scout, you may want to get a bunker a little bit earlier. Again, scouting's still important, but it's just curious to note the timing on Bomber's scout. It does make me think that he's playing the build specifically to DRG, but I think it has a lot of potential on ladder. I've won a few games with it so far, but I'm still just testing with it. I haven't had time to play a whole lot of games with it because of work and such. So I'm wondering what you guys think, how we can improve this, and just some of your thoughts on this build in particular. So once you get 450 minerals after the gas, you're going to add 3 more barracks, and with your next 100, you will get a bunker. I get the bunker a little bit later in this game, so no worries on that. I'm just playing computer. But it's good to get the bunker anyway, just so you can see how the motions work out. Then you're going to get an orbital right here.
This better be good.
And you really should keep the tech lab a little bit before this. I'm late on that, actually.
SCV ready.
But you want to get your second gas with your tech lab, and that should be around like 605, 610. And with your first 100 gas, you will get stim, as we see. And just keep constant marine production, constant SEV production. Don't get supply blocks. Super important not to do that.
Upgrade
because the timing relies so much on having that big scary push, big powerful army just coming at you right in the Zerg's face, putting that pressure on his third base. And so Bomber's going to get stim here, and then with your second 100 gas, you will start a factory. And as you take the factory with that second 100 gas, you will start your third and your fourth gases at the same time. And then as gas allows, after the factory, you will get add-ons for your barracks. So 3 reactors, that's 150 gas for 3 reactors.
SCV
And
ready.
then while the factory is building, you'll have the money to add 2 engineering bays. So we're going to do that in a second.
SCV ready.
So 3 guys on gas, of course.
Go, go, go. SCV ready.
So the reactor on this one is actually a little bit late if I can remember, but this is my first run through with the
SCV
build.
ready.
First time I did it, not on ladder, of course. And so 2 eBays going down after all the add-ons for your racks and your factory have been put on. You can get the siege check and the siege tank before you start 1-1, whatever you feel. But again, that's one of the weaknesses of this build, just how late the siege tanks are, and you don't have any banshees or anything out on the map to protect you from like roaches or snipe off roaches as they're coming to your base, something like that. The siege tank's not going to hit the map, until about a little after 9 minutes. So it's really late. Maybe we can find a way to get the siege tank a little bit quicker if you suspect some big 2-base timing or you don't scout the third. Because a big, third timings come around like 7 minutes for a big roach ling push, or around 8 minutes and 30 seconds for a ling bane roach all in. Just some timings to keep in mind there. And so we're going to start 1-1
Additional supply depots required.
and then when we get the money for it, after that and your second tank is started, get a starport. And again, just don't get supply blocks. Super important. I think I get supply blocks once at like 169. I may have already said that, but
Research
just don't
complete.
get supply blocks, and you will be fine. And so once 1-1 is about halfway done, you're going to start your armory, so you can be in good position to take that 2-2 upgrade. Bomber starts taking his third base right about now. I do a little bit later, actually. Still just working out the kinks on this.
SCV ready.
And Bomber pushes out at about, I think he has like 160 supply when he pushes out, so it's an insane number.
SCV ready.
And so make your medevac, and now you're going to start wanting to take your third base.
SCV ready. This better be good. SCV ready.
So third base going down, and you want to take those gases as soon as you get the third base. I don't in this video, and actually this is way oversaturated, so you want to transfer those as soon as you can. And so we've got our third tank out, fourth one on the way, and look at 1-1 combat shields and 1 armor are going to line up. That's very important. You want those to line up.
This better be good.
Upgrade complete.
And then you want to add factories and barracks as money allows. Just keep macroing up. Bomber adds a sensor tower and a bunker right here, which is definitely a good idea, especially on a map like this. Zerg can pressure you here and pressure you here with like link run bys and such. And then Bomber is going to put himself into position with this push to take a fourth and keep putting pressure on Dongregu. His follow-up push after this push right here, this big one, mine's a little bit later than his. He pushes out on the map at about 11:40, I believe. And then he'll push out again at, I think, 14 minutes with another push of similar size to where Dongregu trying to take his fourth base. Because Bomber does deny the fourth expo here, and I think he could have won the game outright with this push
Armed and ready.
if his Marines wouldn't have got so far in front of where his tanks were, as you'll see in the VOD. And you just want to put pressure on the Zerg's third, if not just kill it outright, so you can be in great position and to take a fourth. Of course, the fourth is a lot of assumptions, just depending on how the game's going, depending on if your push is doing damage or not, if you're keeping Zerg occupied, that sort of thing.
Additional supply depots required.
And so we've got 2-2 halfway done, and we're approaching our max pretty quickly here. Of course, I'm just playing against a computer, but we're about 179 supply at 1330, and that's pretty good, And we're gonna max out. I think in this video I max out at about 1405, and I've got 2-2 not quite done, but on the way. And get your 1 attack for armor. You can get that sooner. I just forgot it. And so I am going to hit 200 supply, yeah, at 1405, and somehow go down to 199.
Add-on
May have
complete.
accidentally killed one of my guys. But anyway, that's pretty much the build, guys. Again, just let me know if you have any questions, post them in the Team Liquid article, or if you have any suggestions, anything like that. Just let me know. This is Echoic, signing off.
Ready to go!